Hello students, in this session we will study about the secondary storage devices, and we will also study how these secondary storage devices are related to the database technology. Okay, we know the concept of database technology, right? A database is nothing but a collection of logically related data. Okay, nothing but a database consists of huge quantity of data, and this quantity of data needed to be physically stored on some storage medium like secondary storage devices or maybe primary storage devices, right? So when there is a requirement of data, the data is accessed from these storage devices and necessary operation is carried out on the data, right? So what I'm trying to say here, I'm trying to say that the data within the database is physically stored either on the primary storage medium or else on the secondary storage medium. So first let's study what are the properties of the primary storage medium. Okay, so the primary storage device is directly accessed by the central processing unit, and this primary storage unit is also addressed as the main memory of the computer. Okay, and this storage unit is much faster and it is more expensive. Okay, and the storage unit, the primary storage unit, having less storage capacity. Okay, we can store only a small quantity of data for about nearly about few GB of data. Okay, 4 GB, 5 GB, 16 GB, 8 GB of data can be stored within this primary storage device. As and when the size of the database increases, the available primary storage space is not enough to store the entire database. So in that case, we have to use another type of storage unit called as the secondary storage unit, or as well as tertiary storage unit. Okay, the secondary storage unit, under this category there comes some of the devices such as the magnetic disk, optical disk, as well as the magnetic tapes. What are the properties of these devices? The magnetic disk as well as the optical disk have the large storage capacity, and they are less expensive, and they are not so faster compared to the primary storage devices. Okay, so because of the large storage capacity provided by the secondary storage device, so a large database can be successfully stored within this storage medium. Okay, and these secondary storage devices are not directly accessed by the central processing unit. Nothing but if a user wants to perform some operation on the data which is stored on the secondary storage device, first of all it will be get copied into the primary storage device. Then from the primary storage device, the CPU will directly access the data in order to carry out the necessary required operations. The cache memory of the digital computer, which is one of the primary storage unit, is usually constructed by using the static random access memory. Okay, the random access memory are of two category, one is static and one is dynamic. The static random access memory is most expensive, as well as the static random access memory does not needed to be periodically refreshed in order to maintain the data. Okay, by using such a type of device, the cache memory is constructed. The main memory of the digital computer is constructed by using the dynamic RAM. If you compare the static RAM and dynamic RAM is less expensive, and this dynamic RAM need to be periodically refreshed in order to maintain the data. So the cache memory as well as the main memory of the digital computer belongs to the category called as the primary storage device. Next comes another class called as secondary storage device. As we have earlierly mentioned, the magnetic disk is considered as secondary storage device. Compact disk read-only memory is also considered as secondary storage device, as well as DVD, digital versatile disk, is also considered as the secondary storage device. This device has the large storage capacity. Okay, can store several terabytes of data. The storage capacity of the digital computer is measured by using the terms such as kilobytes, megabytes, gigabytes, and terabytes. These terms define the amount of data that is actually stored on the storage medium. What I am trying to say here, If we compare the primary as well as the secondary storage devices, the primary storage device can store few quantity of data, as well as the secondary storage device can store large quantity of data. If the data needed by the user is stored in the secondary storage device such as magnetic disk, in that case the portion of the data from the secondary storage device such as magnetic disk is read and written into the buffer in the main memory, and from that buffer the CPU will access the data and can perform the required operation on the data. Nowadays, primary storage unit comes with a storage capacity of 8 to 16 GB of memory space. Okay, and if it is possible to store the entire database within this primary storage unit such as the main memory of the digital computer, then such a database can be addressed as the main memory database. Between the two class of storage device such as the primary memory as well as the secondary memory, there exists another type of memory unit called as a flash memory, okay, which is nowadays being commonly used, and it is a non-volatile storage unit. Non-volatile in the sense it can permanently store the values as long as required. These flash memories are constructed by using a type of read-only memory called as electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. Okay, the advantage of this flash memory is that it's a fast access speed, whereas it has an disadvantage, that is, if you want to erase the data and if you want to rewrite the data, the entire block of data must be erased and must be rewritten simultaneously. Nowadays, the flash memory devices are commonly being used in cameras, MP3 players, cell phones, and in many other devices. Next, we will study more about the secondary storage device. A type of secondary storage device, as we have mentioned earlier, is a magnetic disk. Okay, and we will study how this magnetic disk is constructed and how the magnetic disk is supposed to operate. Okay, as we have already mentioned, if there is a large quantity of data, then that large quantity of data needed to be stored in the secondary storage device such as magnetic disk. Okay, the most basic unit of data which is stored on a disk is considered as a bit. Okay, usually 8 bits collectively together can be addressed as 1 byte. By magnetizing the surface of the magnetic disk, these bits can be successfully stored on the magnetic disk. Okay, the magnetic disk, as we can see here in this block diagram, is a circular disk. Okay, and the circular disk is protected by using plastic. The arrangement consists of an actuator. The actuator can hold the read-write head. The read-write head will help in order to read as well as to write the data, as we can see in this block diagram. A disk can be single-sided, nothing but in only one surface the information can be stored, or it can be double-sided, nothing but in both the surfaces the information can be stored. To increase the storage capacity of the disk is assembled into a disk pack. The disk pack consisting of multiple number of disks which is placed one above the other, as we can observe in this block diagram. Okay, the circular disk surface is divided into concentric circles of small width, and these are addressed as tracks. Okay, in the disk pack, the track with the same diameter on various surface are addressed as cylinder. Okay, it is addressed as cylinder. Why? Because of its shape. As we can observe in this block diagram, this concentric circles, what we can see, it is addressed as a track. Okay, and the track is again divided into small sections called as sectors. Okay, we can see here there exists multiple number of sectors, the sector number 1, sector number 2, and sector number 3. The disk drive of the hard disk rotate at constant speed, usually at 5400 to 15,000 rounds per minute. Why does the hard disk is rotated? In order to place the read write head into the exact position where the user wants to read the data from the storage unit. After placing the read write head into the exact position, the user can successfully retrieve the data and carry out the required operation. Some disk unit have fixed read write head, whereas the other disk drive have movable read write head. Okay, what is the difference between this fixed read write head and movable read write head? In case of fixed read write head, each track on the surface of the magnetic disk consisting of an individual read write head unit, whereas in case of movable read write head, there is only one read write head unit which is moved forward as well as backward in order to place the read write head on the particular track of the magnetic disk. So the cost of the fixed read write head is much more higher, because of the reason the fixed read write head is not commonly preferred in most of the cases. Within this disk pack, there is a unit called as the disk controller. The disk controller is used to control the operation of the disk drive, as well as it is used to interface with the digital computer. The controller accepts the high level input output commands and take necessary action to position the read write head into the desired track as well as into the desired position on the magnetic disk. The time needed in order to position the read write head onto the particular track on the magnetic disk is addressed as seek time. Typically, the seek time is ranging between 5 to 10 milliseconds on a desktop computer, whereas 3 to 8 milliseconds on server. And in order to bring the desired sector under the read write head unit, the time required can be addressed as rotational delay or latency. This rotational delay or latency depends upon the speed at which the disk rotate, which is nothing but RPM. For example, at 15,000 RPM, the time per rotation is 4 millisecond and the average rotational delay is the time per half revolution or 2 milliseconds. Finally, some additional time is needed to transfer the data. This is called as block transfer time. The block transfer time can be defined as the total time needed in order to transfer the entire block of data from the magnetic disk into the digital computer for processing. So that's it regarding the secondary storage unit, nothing but the magnetic disk. Okay, so this magnetic disk is used for storing the large quantity of data. Okay, if the size of the database is much larger, then in that case it is necessary to store that large database within this magnetic disk, and this is how the magnetic disk is constructed, and this is how the magnetic disk is supposed to operate.